Hey, hey, ladies and gentlemen, in Swell Land and in other universes and multiverses, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Authenticity with Preetha. And this month, in this lovely month of June, we will talk about control. I introduced this topic very briefly in my newsletter. If you are not aware, I am a life coach who works with people on authenticity, and my website is www.bethesequoia.com. If you are interested, do visit it and subscribe to my newsletter. I try to pick a topic every month, so we kind of go deep into it, both in my newsletter and on my Swellcast episodes. Last month, we talked a lot about imposter syndrome. This month, let's talk about control. So here's a question, ladies and gentlemen. Who is in charge of your life? Have you ever asked that question? Of course you are. Stupid question, Preetha, I hear you say. But there is a reason why I'm bringing this up. Because more often than not, we find ourselves in situations and circumstances where things seem to feel overwhelming. They feel out of hand, out of control, and we feel we're at the mercy of our circumstances. And this happens to all of us at various stages in our life. And the reason that happens is because we're human beings and we cannot and will never be able to control everything in a perfect world, because there isn't any perfect world. So at such a situation, at such a juncture, it is important to understand the concept of the internal versus the external locus of control. If we have lived through a pandemic, we have all seen that little meme that came through all our news feeds, through some social handle or another, where it was very clearly explained what was in our control and what wasn't when the coronavirus took over the world. We could wash our hands. That was in control. We were not in control of what our environment looked like when we stepped out. And so this was a beautiful example, and I think it's so relevant even on a normal day without a pandemic. So those of us who have an internal locus of control believe that our actions, decisions, efforts shape the outcomes that we receive. And therefore, we look at successes and failures as a result of our own choices. Those of us with an external locus of control believe that we are almost at the mercy of circumstances, or for a better way to say it would be that we would attribute the outcomes to forces beyond our control. So say to our work environment, to our luck, to fate, to our family, to our friends. Now, neither is bad, neither is good, because there are times where we have to accept that not everything is in our control. However, with an internal locus of control, even in situations when things are outside of our control, we are able to gauge the way we respond to it. Okay? And the greatest example in history is Dr. Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor, a psychiatrist, author of the renowned book, Man's Search for Meaning. And in his amazing in his amazing book, the biggest lesson through this horrific circumstances of surviving a concentration camp, it is the simplicity and the power of his words was simply this: that while we cannot control our circumstances, we can control our responses towards it. And therefore, shifting our locus of control and gauging the way we can respond towards them makes us better decision makers. Because when we say that, you know what, I cannot control my circumstances right now, but maybe I can give in a little more in my workspace. I can be more resilient because I'm taking ownership of my actions. I recognize I have agency, and instead of blaming my circumstances, I am making a better choice. And therefore, I am aspiring towards growth. So we will talk more, but I would encourage you to just think about which are the areas in your life where you feel most helpless and where do you feel most in charge. Let's talk next time.